Hey everyone, this is Kevin Kroneberger, graphic designer, work for Kroneberger Studio, very original company name, and I live in Fort Collins, Colorado. It is such a blast to get to work with, just in the craft industry. Any advice that I could give to, just a company or an individual that's seeking out my services or another individual artist's services, coming prepared. I think you need to know who you are, who you want to be. The concept of it is that it's a commemorative can. So there's something about this that has to feel special. Maybe they'd even say this and put this up on their shelf. I hope they drink it first, but then they say that it's got to be a little more high-end. And so I kind of went heavy in on the detail. The name, I wanted to make sure that was really, really prominent. The first thing that you see, and then the illustration, and then all of the other add-ons are just kind of the little nuggets. I injected some of that Spanish art, that vibe. I tried to get that, some of these flourishes, some flowers, some of these, those crest elements in this. And so I just wanted it to feel like San Antonio.
Hi everyone, my name is Alana Louise Lyons and I'm from Austin, Texas. An interesting fact, I guess, about me is that I really love to fly fish. My husband is a brewer. He brews for Austin Beer Works. He's the reason why I'm pretty familiar with craft beer. One way that people often overlook is special finishing on their labels. I've had clients who are really worried about, the front of the can must look awesome, but then the rest of the label is neglected. So every beer label has to tell a story, whether it's about the brewery, the beer style, ingredients used. In this case, we didn't have any of that. So this design is based off of the name Trio Grande. Obviously, 3 designers are working on this, which Trio comes from. And the second fact is the Rio Grande, which creates the Texas-Mexico border. So I use the Rio Grande as the setting for this story. A significant landmark on the Rio Grande is the Santa Elena Canyon. And I included a picture of me sitting on the Texas side, facing the Mexico side. And it's pretty wild to see just how close we are to our neighbors. So as a backdrop here in my label is the Santa Elena. And then I have 3 figures on the foreground who are inspired by women who fought to save the Alamo. So on either side, I have the 2 women who established the Daughters of the Republic of Texas. These aren't direct representations, but they're just inspired by these women. And at the center, I have a figure who's inspired by Adina de Zavala. So Adina and the Daughters of the Republic of Texas are the reason why the Alamo stands today. Along with the text on the right side of the label, there's a small symbol with the shape of the top of the Alamo with a star. A few months ago, I went to the Alamo and on the grounds of the Alamo, there was a single tile on the floor that I saw with this mark, and I was like, oh my God, why isn't this everywhere? This is an amazing symbol. And I've been saving this symbol to use for something Alamo related, and I'm so excited that I was able to use it for this label. I've been involved with the craft beer community for a very long time. My husband's been brewing professionally for years. So through that, I've gotten knowledge within the industry. I agreed to be a part of this project because the Brewers Association is amazing, and I freaked out when I got the email. And I'm just excited to be a part of it.
My name is Ryan Wheaton, from Craft Brew Creative, founder and designer. Currently living in Portland, Oregon. Spent a lot of my time in California. Kind of a collision of 2 worlds, a collision of art and beer, which is something that I'm passionate about both. I think it's super important to get out and take a look at the actual environment that your customers are going to be in and what they're looking at on the shelf. The thing also is that, if you want to make sure you have a really strong brand and you already have packaging out there, is to just kind of take all of your packaging and line it up on a counter or line it up on a shelf. And I think it can be really easy to, over time, just create these cool looking designs as one-off items, but don't see how they all fit together as like an entire portfolio or as an entire like brand. I really wanted to go with kind of like a very textured feel to it, just kind of a bit of a vintage look and feel. And I also played off the idea of the San Antonio flag incorporated into the can. On the very top of it were just like the red and blue sides. The creative process is always crazy. It's always different. And like all things, I totally procrastinate. So there was one morning I literally woke up out of bed at like 6 a.m. and before my alarm clock went off, and I knew I couldn't just like sleep and hit the snooze button because I had the ideas for this label. And the creative process, like I said, is crazy like that. You never know what's gonna come, when it's gonna hit you.